dog. There were some. Chris couldn't finish his presentation about giant
right.
submarines
All
because
right,
of the technical problems.
yeah,
We
we're
are
going
live.
live. Yeah, we're live.
Oh, okay,
So we'll talk about that later. So
sure.
yeah, whenever.
So we are going to Mars, like Elon Musk, I guess.
Mars on Moskva. Is that what you said?
No, we go to Mars, like Elon Musk.
Oh, sure. I
Or
wish
something.
I wish he'd get in a rocket and just go ahead and start
Yeah,
now.
I
Um,
know. Yeah, me
and
too.
bring everybody with him. Uh, or at least can I go for like? Is there like a 4-year plan? Is there like a 4-year trip
Peter, Peter,
plan
Peter,
that I?
Peter. Maybe later. Okay, so did you read anything about the rules? And how do you hear me? Yeah, because can you hear
I hear
me?
you fine.
Ah, fine.
All right.
Okay, so
I mean,
uh,
the
okay,
only thing
no,
I
no,
got
no,
out
no.
of it is that
Mhm.
the cards the cards dictate the turn order pretty
Yeah.
much,
Okay, so I
and that's
will
about as far as I
explain
got.
to everyone like they don't know anything. Okay, first thing, and because there is like at GMT there is a guy that is I think it's part of his job. He's making tabletop simulator modules for them, and we'll need to set up the game. But if I can move your attention here, so here
Mhm.
is event deck. Please don't touch anything. I mean, not this button. Don't touch this button. So as you said, there is event deck, and there are dust storm uh, cards.
Mhm.
When Dust Storm card is pulled from the deck during play, this is when we check the victory conditions. And some stuff happens. We probably don't get there, but the thing is, there are 3 Dust Storm cards, and they are shuffled like the deck normally is divided into three
So
three
somewhat.
equal parts, and into each part you shuffle one of these cards, right? So
So similar to the mechanics in like God, what is it called? Pandemic and stuff like that, where you
yeah,
mix in
kind of,
with
yeah, yeah,
a very
exactly.
variable length game, basically.
Yes, yes. And
All right.
what's cool here is also you have 48 event cards, but I think 12 of them each game are randomly left in the box.
All right. So
Uh,
I'm doing a search on it.
sure.
Hopefully I'm not. Well, hopefully I'm not revealing
Uh,
its order. I don't think I am.
no,
Um,
it's not. It doesn't matter because, as I said, these Dust Storm cards are shuffled into the deck, so
mhm,
you have one like in the first third of the deck or at the bottom
mhm.
of the third of the deck and so forth. So if you
I think
close this,
I
Mhm.
think when you search the deck, you don't see it in its actual deck order. You see it in
I
its
don't think.
like.
Besides, there is this setup. What's cool about this module, this
Right.
setup event deck, when you
Mm,
click it, it will set up
it'll
the
just
deck and
automatically do
game
it. All right.
format.
Let me get out of there then. Go ahead and do it if you
Okay,
want.
so look, you can look what it happened. You see, it
That's
it
nice. Yeah.
shuffles this. It's very nice, and
That's
it
cool.
will now it will roll dice because also you need to place 2 Dust Storms
That's
randomly.
wow. That's pretty nice.
That's great, right? I didn't
You
know
see,
it
this
had.
is the thing. Like what GMT should do. I mean, is sell this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Sell the game at like $20
Maybe,
and
yeah.
or 30 and get some and pay somebody to do this. So, but hey, they're
Maybe
doing it for
I will
free,
tell
so
them because this module, I'm pretty
it's
sure this
really good.
module
That's
is made because, as I said, I think there is a guy at GMT right now that makes
right.
tabletop
I mean,
simulator modules for them.
what this
Uh,
shows is that you can do just about anything with it
yep,
if you got the time.
sure. And knowledge. I guess
Hmm.
knowledge here is probably the main
But
factor.
somehow we still can't rotate things 1 degree. So no.
Nope, that's impossible. Something that tabletop won't do. Oh my, but here this approaching storm. Kind of something happens to it. I can okay, now we're fine. Okay, so it sets up the deck, it flips first 2 cards, and it also places the storm because you have approaching storm. There is no storm there, but when there is event to trigger storms,
And I'm
they are
sorry,
flipped
where does that show up?
here.
It's
uh,
always there, or
no,
that
no,
just moves around.
this is rolled for at the beginning of the
Okay,
game. You roll for 2 approaching storms, and
right.
later you roll for more of them. But this
Does-
happens at what's called the flashpoint round. When
Mhm.
flashpoint round appears, you will learn during.
Mhm.
Basically, we will do some shenanigans in this game. Don't even think strategically or something. We'll just learn the
Yeah,
game.
well, so wing it. You're saying like I always.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly, and you will see
So
why.
it'll take
because-
us about a half year to learn this game, and then we'll be on to another game.
No,
All
you
right,
know
cool.
what? No. Rules are fairly simple. After 2 rounds or 2 turns, you will know how to. Well, you will know the rules of the game.
least
How to
where to go
play
to look.
is
That's-
different thing because
well,
depth of
right.
strategy is
But
immense.
each faction, I'm assuming each faction has a, variable way to
Yep.
approach it too. And if I saw right, I did look at the, let me make sure I'm sharing my screen. I'm not sharing.
Oh yeah, you are not sharing your screen. Damn it! I could have spotted it. we are again.
All right, there we go. Oh well,
There we go.
whatever.
And people lost how great this game sets up, right?
Yeah,
Whatever.
but whatever. It sets it up automatically.
Yeah, it's the tabletop module sets you game automatically, and it looks cool. Take our word for it.
There you go. All right.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot to, and I've seen your screen all the time. Of course, I also missed it. Great timing. Okay, so first I need to because I already played it with my friend for a few rounds, and it's not that hard like mechanically, but you need to understand few concepts at the beginning, or like stuff. So these spaces and the wilderness too, these are deserts. The round spaces are called labyrinths. These are like they call it labyrinths, but these are like the domes, yeah, structures, domes or something. Everything else are deserts. This plays important role because some stuff you can do only on deserts, or some stuff you can only do on labyrinths. Okay, the orangey squares like these ones, these are population. So this spaces are without population. This is population that is like general population of people.
Like a starting population of it, right? Like
yes,
a
that is
default
starting
or baseline.
population. Yeah, because they can be when there is damage, they are somewhere, but not like living there. And there is displaced population here that may populate these spaces. Why and how you will learn during game, but this is important.
Are there varying scenarios as well? You know what I mean? Like
starting scenario, you know what? Starting scenarios, no, there is only one starting position, but I bet you could do some interesting, figure something starting scenario, right? Okay, so this is population. Next to population, you see, and now two important concepts that you need to separate. This will be good example. So the space can have control, right? You can control space, or some faction can control space. The control, to check control, you just count the number of pieces.
So you just have to have the most stuff there. Is that right? And
right,
bases count as 2. Is that correct?
No, bases count as 1. I think it's just bases. Bases are count as 1, but they give you benefits.
I thought certain faction. I thought. Let me go look at the.
Yeah, look, maybe I don't remember it correctly.
So I'll just say very openly, the victory conditions, though, the Martian government wins the total support plus Earth. Okay. But
no, you know what? I will tell you about, but for victory conditions, I would wait for victory conditions when I explain the support, because I was very confused with this. You need to know what support is, and you need to know what control is.
Okay, that's
and you
fine.
need to know another thing. Yes, so for the people that don't know, we have 4 factions, right? We have corporations, we have Mars government, we have what is called Church of the Reclaimer, which is like weird, like
fundamentalists.
Yeah, they are weird Martian Fremens, and you have Red Dust movements, which is pretty much Belters from
That's like an
expense.
that's an organized rebellion, right? That's
Yes,
like
that's
that's
the
like the main,
rebellion that is against the Martian government. And
very
now,
eclipsy
yeah, very.
or expanse,
But
not eclipse.
yeah, very
Yeah.
expense. Yes. The thing with the factions, so the Martian government and corporation is like, established faction, and Red Dust and Church of the Reclaimers are what we call here coin factions. They are, oh no, sorry, these are rebel factions, and corporations and Martian government is coin, so counter-insurgent side, right? Because though you have 4 factions, and if you have 4-player game, each of the faction plays for their own win, right? For control of the spaces can be controlled either by Red Dust, by the Church of the Reclaimers, or it can be controlled by coin, like both
Which
of
is a
them.
combination
Corporation,
of it.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
combination of corporation and Martian government. When you try coin
But
control, for instance, here you count all of the pieces of the corporation and Mars
so is that,
government.
but each
Uh,
but each of those but the government or the corporations could be a winner on their own layer. Is that
Yes,
correct? Okay.
exactly.
Interesting.
But they sometimes need to
They
cooperate with
utilize
each
each other.
other. Yes,
That's
exactly.
okay. That's an interesting mechanic. Okay.
That's very nice mechanic. Okay, so this is the control. Control is how many pieces you have, and then you have control. Control affects many actions you can do. Beside control, each space here is neutral. Each space can be, you have these markers here. Oh, here is good example because we have passive opposition, active support, and neutral. This is the, how they call it? This is support, basically, of the general population in this space toward, if there is opposition, they are supporting the rebels, like actually Red Dust Rebellion.
Mhm.
And if there is any support,
And
government.
this is generally controlled, or the mechanic behind what is brought in on these is by way of
No,
the
this is
ratio of
separate. No, this has nothing to
this
do with
is
control. You can have
this is
coin
random. This is
control. It's not random. This is at the start of the game. This is how the game starts with, but there are actions that allow you to rally support or rally
okay. Or
opposition.
attempt to, right?
Yes,
It's
because
not
you can
automatic
have,
also. Okay.
no, it's not automatic. You have actions that influence it. But the thing is, yeah, you can have, for instance, here could be coin control. You can have like coin troops, but there might be, the general public might be in opposition to that, right? This has nothing to do with it. But this is the key factor for the victory points for the government or the Red Dust Rebels. So let's go now to, so when we know what control is and what support is, let's talk about victory conditions. So the corporation has the simplest one. They just need to have as high profit as possible, right? Corporations have something, if you look here at the track, they start with 0 profits. And if they want to win, they need to have 36 profits when the dust storm card appears. But also profits you gain, you can use for various tasks or stuff during game. You can expand it, right? So this is corporations. Corporations are the easiest. Just get as much profit as they can, and that. Red Dust is total opposition plus bases. So bases is simple. You just count the number of bases that you have on the map. Each one gives you 1 point. And this is easy because, as you can look at these pads, you have number of bases already on the map counted here. You just can see it. Everyone has it, which is cool. And now
That's nice.
yeah, how do you calculate opposition? So in each space that has passive opposition on map, like here in Shepherd, at the bottom, you have passive opposition. If you have passive opposition, each population square counts as 1 victory point.
Mhm.
If you have active opposition, like in Sharma, each
Mhm.
population counts as 2 victory points.
Okay, so these are one each, and then these are 2 each.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And if
Okay.
you place small population here, you gain more victory points. You have more
And that's
people.
specifically for red dust movement. Okay.
Yes, for Martian government, it's kind of the same, but of course you count active support and passive support. So gives you 1 point for each population. Active support gives you 2 points for each population, and they gain not for bases, but what's EG confidence.
Okay.
Now, what's
Earth
EG
government.
confidence? Yeah, Earth government, because you
Yeah.
have Earth government that is like on the side,
Mm-hmm.
which is controlled depending on how much government on Earth has. What's the word?
Impressed itself upon the
Yes,
situation.
yes,
Or, yeah.
yes. How much confidence they
Um,
have based on how much
uh,
they have confidence in the Mars government.
Okay. So it's kind of
So
a stability, like almost a
if
stability rating.
you look at the right now, here
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
Earth government confidence, which is here is the marker for that. So
Mhm.
first of all, the level of government, so the number of points here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I will go into it in a moment. These are also the points you add to the victory
point.
to
Yeah.
the victory. Yes. Beside that, yeah, exactly, they're on the track. Beside that, you have here Corp, MG.
Mhm.
So you have someone called Earth Government Controller, because if you've seen, the white cubes are like Earth Special Forces, or like Earth Marines.
Like so Sardaukar, basically.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So who controls them? Who controls them and use them, where they are employed and deployed, depends also on the confidence. If the confidence is here, the Corp player moves them. If MG, then Mars government controls them. Okay.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah, and the stuff you have here, this like supply, population, and the things like that, this is the amount of stuff that is coming from
brought
Earth
in.
to Mars. Yes, because as you
Stuff
can
that has
see,
safely come in, so that's their confidence level. That
no, that's if you yes, but if you look at here, this is what is called Aldrin Cycler. This is basically ship that is flying between Earth and Mars and brings in supply.
Okay.
So here you have stuff on Earth. When Aldrin Cycler is activated, you move things from transit to Phobos. This is what move.
Yep.
And then you move stuff from Earth to transit. And how much stuff then appears on Earth also depends on the Earth confidence in the Martian government.
So they're basically using the moon as just a staging or a distribution center.
Yes, exactly. This is staging area for corporate troops and Mars troops, because troops on Mars are just trained on Mars. Okay, and the church. Church is weird one. So the church gets victory points from.
So the Bene Gesserit, they're doing what?
Yeah, they have number of bases on the map and the number of spaces controlled. So they are the only faction that actually gets victory points from control of spaces. So for instance, here they have 3 pieces, no one has any else, so they control this space. So this counts as victory points. But what's interesting for them, because if you look at the track, here you have the Mars government, rebels, and corporations level of victory. Level of victory for church is here. It's the number of enemy bases. It's the number of bases on the map other than theirs. So it can move. If any faction builds a base, it moves up. They need to gain more bases. And if the bases are destroyed, their victory level is lowered.
This is the influencer. This is the influencer faction, really, right? So this is
pretty much.
This is the balancer, actually. Interestingly,
because I must admit, I totally don't feel them. I totally don't know how to play them, and they have they flavor or their background makes no sense to me. But yeah, they are here to balance for 3 other factions.
Well, they're the Bene Gesserit of
they're
the Bene Gesserit of it. I mean, they're But what's interesting, so let's hit pause for 1 second. So when you look back at like, have you ever played Fire on the Lake? Because which is the other
No,
coin.
but I
There are
really
other
would
coins.
like to.
I would
Yeah,
love to.
this
Yes,
is.
we need to do that because I want to compare it. So at some point we should do that. We should kind of
Yeah, we
retroactively
should.
go
We
play
should
that.
definitely play.
Because what I want to see is I'm assuming that like there are like Christian movements or other maybe it might be generic, but there must
in
be
Vietnam.
like religious. Yes, there must be like
you know what 4 factions you have in Fire in the Lake?
I don't know.
You have U.S. government, South
Yeah.
Vietnam government, Viet Cong, and North
NVA.
factions.
Did you?
Yes,
What was
you
the
have
fourth thing?
NVA.
Okay.
NVA and Viet Cong are two separate. Well, the
Mhm.
North Vietnamese government. You have North Vietnamese government as a faction.
Mhm.
Viet Cong, as
Right.
you know, rebels in the
As an
south, is a separate.
insurgency.
Yes, and you have U.S. government and you have South Vietnamese government as a faction.
So you have
They are
Arvin. So what's interesting that's really cool. But I was
Yes.
also thinking there might be like some sort of religious, some sort of what is the balancer? What is that?
I don't
influencer? Is
know.
it the VC?
I think
Maybe it's the
maybe.
VC.
I don't
Okay,
know
so I'd
because
have
there
to.
are different. I think there are different cards and different mechanics too than here
Yeah.
because here you have
Mhm.
different mechanics. So
Yeah.
maybe
So yeah, I would definitely. I think
I need
that
to
would.
check. Yes.
I think that would be the most different to compare this to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so too because here are many mechanics that
Are
are
very
not used there. Yeah, they are specific.
So I mean, I'm sure there are people listening that have played both and are screaming bloody murder at the screen, saying, "Yeah, it's this, that, and the other." But yeah, this is
Yeah.
actually the first time I've played a coin game.
Yeah,
Oddly enough.
it's my first coin game too.
Oh,
Exactly.
you know what? Another one I did was there's a Robotech one. Robotech.
Really?
Yeah, there's a Robotech coin one. Not specifically a GMT
Yeah,
coin
I
one, but
understand.
it's similar mechanics.
That sounds
Yeah, we
nice.
should try that one.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll find that on the side here. Just keep going.
Sure. Okay, so when we know this, so with 4 players, it's simple. We play with 4 players. For 2 players, they suggest that 1 player takes coin, 1 player takes rebels, and they play for the lowest victory of the 2 sides they control, right? But we just play. I would just ignore it and just discuss and play and see what happens. Just to learn the rules. Okay, so we need to focus on the current event card if we want to play or learn how to play. So we have 2 cards already flipped. This is the one that is next to the deck is the current now used event card, and we also have upcoming event cards. So this card will be next current card, right? You know what will be the next card played after that, but this is the card we are playing with. So there is event on it, and as you mentioned, the icons at the top of the card defines the factions order. So in what order factions can play their actions. And the church is always at the end of these cards. They are always the last, but they can improve their position. And they do this by playing the everyone, basically all of the stuff for all factions is in the open. The only exception is the church, which has this what is called the reclaimer or the resource cards. They start with 3 of them. I took their space, so I have their cards here in my hand, right? So they have cards that they hold hidden in their hand, and they can discard them to improve their position on this track. So if they are always last, but they can discard the card they hold in hand to improve their position of play, right? I won't do this right now because at the beginning they have only 3 cards, and in order to start first, they would need to discard all of their cards, and then they can pretty much play any action. So the first faction are rebels, right? So they start first. and I will take your attention to this track. So this track, here we track who made what kind of actions and when. So the Red Dust faction is the first to decide, and they can do one of 4 things. There are 3 things here. There are first eligible action, faction.
What I found
So-
interesting about this is that it influences the next character's
Yes.
ability to do things. That's very unique. Yeah,
That's
go for
unique
it.
and that's cool. Yeah, because they can do one of 3 of these things, and they also can pass. If you pass,
Yeah, that's right. You get like a bonus sort of. That's
you,
cool too. Yeah.
yeah, you get a bonus if you pass. Yeah, so if Red Dust passes, it gets 1 resource, because all factions have resources they need to use to do stuff, right? So Mars government takes resources. It gets 3 resources, but their actions are much more expensive than the rebels. Church gets 1 card, and corporation can activate Alduin Cycler if they pass. So yeah, but the Red Dust rebels are the first eligible faction, so they can pass, or they can do one of 3 things.
Hmm.
They can play event on a card that is currently pulled.
Mm-hmm.
They can perform first action op, so they can perform operations. Yeah, you can look what it is. Of course, they can perform operations, so the actions with added special activity.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look for a moment here at the actions of Church, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
you have operations and you have special activities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every faction has 4 operations. These are like basic actions, and they have special
Mhm.
activities. But in order to play special activities,
You have to
you need
enact it. Yeah.
no, you need to combine them with operation, because if you, for instance, look at rally plus
Mm.
purify or ransack, so if you perform rally, you can perform also purify or ransack.
Okay, I see.
If you
I see.
perform travel, you can
But
also purify or ransack, and if you use that attack, then you
you
can
can
use
do
any.
ambush. Yeah.
Yeah, you can add
Ambush would
ambush.
be add ambush.
Yeah,
Cool.
but you can't use special activities unless you perform some operation.
Certain operation, yeah.
Yeah.
That open
So
it up. Interesting.
so you can either use first faction, you can use operation
But if
plus.
you use the op and then no special activity, you lock out the special activities for the next
No,
player.
yeah, pretty
That's
much.
right.
Yeah, use so if you for instance, yeah, if you use it with special, so what happens if the first player uses event,
Mm.
the second
That's interesting.
second faction can use operation and may add special activity. If you use operation plus special activity, they can use only limited op, which is limited operation is operation without special activity, and you only can use it on 1 space, because many actions you can use on more than 1 space, but limited operation is operation only 1 space or event. And if first player uses only operation without special activity, then the second can only perform limited op or pass. You can always
So
pass.
it's partial limitation. It's not like okay, so it's not as it's influential, but it's not like debilitating.
Oh, it is debilitating, and you will see why. Because most operations you perform on up to even 5 spaces if you have enough
I see.
I see. But
So
this
you're
you can
trying to.
only
This is
perform
like
on
the
1.
this is the Uno factor.
Kind of, yeah.
This is the Uno reverse card. Interesting. Very interesting. Huh.
Okay,
I was trying to just generally think of other games that have a player's turn influence the choices of the next person.
not
And
many.
the only
Not
thing I
many.
can think of is Uno.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, so let's say the Mars want to perform op, first faction op plus special activity, right? Then the second faction, which is on the card, who is second? Second is Mars government, right? So Mars government can either only perform limited operation or event,
or the event. Okay.
or it can pass, right?
It can always it always has this ability.
If you are eligible faction, because when 2 factions perform these operations, they land into eligible faction box.
The next the third and fourth end up there, or they become that.
Yeah,
They
the factions that perform these actions become
cannot pass.
ineligible.
They can't pass. You're saying?
No, they then can't pass because they are
Okay.
not
Okay. All right.
even,
All right.
you
All right.
know, regarded. You will see as we play. Okay, so what are the actions of
So,
the?
but what about? I have one question then. The
Sure.
third and fourth are not limited. Is that what you're saying? Like no matter what, the third and fourth, they can just do any action, correct?
No, no. Here how it goes. So let's say the Mars plays first, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The second faction on the card
Why don't we
is
just
Mars.
go ahead and do it so we get going anyway? Why don't we
Yeah,
just
sure,
go
we
ahead
can.
and do that?
Okay, and I see we need to go here to see what actions
Yeah.
the Red
We
Dust movement has.
we can
So
just keep it simple. You can even randomly pick something if you really wanted to.
well, some of them you can do. What I really like is look at the description. Each action at the beginning has a purpose.
Mhm.
So you can just think, okay, I want to have more forces. So the rally purpose, place
Probably,
forces and upgrade
yeah.
base.
Go ahead and rally. It's early in the game. Just go ahead and
Yeah,
rally.
and I can use redistribute or coordinate. So you know what? So it's simple. Let's say they just perform this action without special action, right? So first action,
Right.
no special activity. They will limit the
So
operations.
yeah, that's right. So the main benefit of doing that is to lock out the next person from doing the event.
Yes,
Really.
but maybe you
And it also
don't
limits
use
them.
special activity because maybe you are low on resources or something.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
So let's see rally operation. So location, first of all, any populated spaces without support. So I can perform this
So
only in spaces that are
that
first
don't have
populated. The spaces that have
neutral,
first of all, they are either neutral or in opposition
passive.
because
Okay.
support is
Yeah.
support for the government. So
Oh,
I
I
can
see.
do
I see.
this
I see. I
here,
see. I see.
I
You
can do
can't do
this
it there.
here
Okay.
and here.
I get it.
The-
I get it.
Also, I can do this here because although it is neutral, it is
It is overall
unpopulated.
control. Okay.
No, there
Yeah.
is no population here, right?
Currently.
Again, it could be that
Right.
the spaces, for instance, look, here is
But
control space.
later, displaced population might end up there potentially.
Yes, but
Okay.
first it need to be repaired. If there is
Okay.
damage, it need to be repaired. But for instance, I can perform it here, but because though it's coin controlled, it has no support for the government, so I can perform rally here, for instance.
Okay.
Okay, and what it gives me? So cost one resource space selected. So I need to expend one resource per space where I
where's that?
perform.
Oh, these are the resources. Where are the resources?
No, you know what? Resources are here,
I
and
see.
they can be tracked with a marker, and they are usually tracked with
Like
a
at
marker
the table. At the table.
yeah, on the table. Yeah, I could place
that's cool.
this on the table on the track to track
That's fine.
resources, but they give you this, right?
Yeah.
Little
That's fine.
calculator, which is cool.
Better.
Oh, and another thing, you have limited number of troops. This is your pool and pool of your bases. You can't have more than this.
You can't have more than that, but you can have up to that, and you can replace and or replenish.
Yeah, when they are destroyed, they return here.
They become a pool. It's a pool, but you can't
Yeah,
ever
it's
have
a
more
pool.
than that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't
You have
support more
pooled
than
it.
that. Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Okay, so in each space, and now procedure, in each space place one RD rebel or replace two with an RD base. So I could replace two guys with a base if they are there, or I place one rebel, or if there is already an rebel base,
Yeah.
then I place, no, if there is a rebel base, I place number of
Rebels up to the
equal
population.
to the
Right there.
up to the population plus the base.
Okay.
Up to
So
the population
3
plus RD
potentially.
bases.
Yeah.
Yes, here I can place 3 guys. Here I can place also 3 guys because that's population plus the base here. Here I could place 2, right? Because there is 1 population and the base. And each space activated costs me 1 resource.
Okay.
So
everything's spelled out pretty well.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right.
It's really nicely spelled out. So let's say I will get guys here.
Okay. Just pick
and let's say I want guy in Tereshkova, right?
Right.
So
okay. Hold on. So
yes.
because he got to go first, though, he's not limited operation, right? That's another key here, right?
Yeah, you can. Yes, you are never limited if you go first.
So what is the limited aspect of it?
number of resources, and the way
Okay,
you mean that.
we can talk about that when we experience it. That's
Yeah,
fine.
but what's the limit? When you are first, you are not limited really, and you can
Right.
activate as many. I think if there is not set limit, because some actions, like for instance, if you look at the
Right. So as long
redistribute,
as
it says max. Because if you look at the redistribute, it says max 4 spaces. Coordinate max 2 spaces.
okay, but rally you
Rally is
can run
only
any of
limited by
those.
the resources you have, but the thing
But
is, resources are not easy to gain.
correct. But if you had been if you were player
Oh, then I
2,
could only, yeah, if
you
I
do
would be
one. You could only do
limited,
one.
yeah, I can only do one. If I am limited,
Interesting.
I can only select one space to perform this action.
So being that first player is important.
Yep.
Depending upon the time of the game and where you're at and how many resources you have. Interesting. Really
Yep.
cool game.
Very
So
cool. I say no. Yes.
yes, but okay. So the only thing it doesn't, the only capability that you don't have is you really don't have control. It's very much luck of the draw as to the order, but you do know what the next order is going
But
to be
here,
too.
you know what the
Yeah.
next one is, and you will see in a second why it is important. Okay,
Okay.
because
Perfect. All right. Yeah.
you
Go ahead.
will see
Continue.
it. So yeah, let's say I will expend 3 resources and I will place guys in Sharma. I will place guys, and I will place one in Shepherd and one in Tereshkova, right? So because in Shepherd I don't have base, I only place one guy for this one reasons. Tereshkova, although it's under coin control again, and there are troops there, I only need
Neutral at this point.
I only need space without support, and this space
Right.
is neutral to the cause of anyone. And here, because I have a base, I place population plus the number of bases, so 3. And you can have, there can be only, they can only be 2 bases in each space. Okay, and total. So if for instance, for some reason or somehow corporation places base here, there can be no more bases here. And so you see there are these
So right now, okay,
circles.
there can only... So here, in order for blue to increase their troops in that location, they would have to move
They
from
can't.
adjacent.
They would need to move here, and why you will see in a moment when you will see what are the limitations of the Arab government to train their troops. So that's the end of the action of the Mars government. Okay, sorry, rebels. Mars rebels, they finished. So now we go. Yeah, once this is done, we look here, and the next faction is on the card is Mars government.
Yep.
Which can either pass or they can perform limited action. Let's do limited action just because this will explain rules better, right? So if you look what Mars government can do, so they can. So first of all, they only can perform limited operations. So they also don't look at the special activities.
So they don't do that, but they also can only do something in one place, correct? Is that correct?
Yes, correct. Correct. Yes, they only can. For instance, they can train or secure only in one space. Normally, they can do more in more spaces. But train. So let's say they want train is purpose place troops and bolster support. So here's the thing, and here you will look location, any space with Mars government base, so MG base, and labyrinths with coin control. These are the only spaces where they can train troops. That's the first limitation. Second, yes. Second limitation, if you look, Mars government can only have 3 bases, and 2 of them are already on the map. So they can train here, here, here.
And they probably want to go ahead and get a base somewhere right there, right? I mean, they probably
yeah,
want to go ahead and get that
here
out
it would be helpful. Yeah, but they can't. Okay, but what they can do with train? So cost, first of all, cost 3 resources per space where troops placed. And again, they can only perform this in one space here, right? So let's say they want to bolster Europa because that looks like a cool place. This is the only space. I have 18, they have 18 resources at the start. So they could do more, but because it is limited operation, they only can expend 3. And they place 4 troops in Europa. And next, so yes, if you look there, there is in each space place up to 4 troops, then may pacify in up to 1 selected space. So they can also pacify Europa. What pacify does, if you look at their card, there is explanation of pacify at the bottom. So pacify perform up to 2 of house, repair, or pay 3 resources to shift 1 level towards active support in any combination. So they can perform in Europa. At the bottom, you have explanation of what pacify is. If you no, at the bottom of their card. The free if you look at the
Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
No
Your
problem.
hand wasn't over it, so sorry.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Yeah, I should show here. So pacify is you can perform up to 2 house, repair, or pay 3 resources, and house and repair are below. So I can play in Europa. I can pay 3 resources to move toward active support, and because there is passive support there, they would shift to active support, right? Which I will, and I can also house. Okay, so let's say first I will use, because I could house twice, or I could repair twice, or I could twice
one of
shift
each,
the level.
one of other. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, or
Yep,
I can
yeah.
mix them.
Where
So
is that level of support measured?
Here, you know what you need to. It can be either.
Oh, is that the 4 or 5? Oh, is that the?
Yeah,
the
it's the
marker?
state.
State. Okay, all right. That's the part I didn't understand. And how is that depicted on the tabletop when you're on a physical
marker? You have just neutral is just written below. I think you know what if we.
But the level of it, you just put more of that. You just put multiple of those there. Like when you're playing this on.
It looks like this. On map you have neutral.
Yeah.
And you have 1 double-sided marker for passive and active support on the marker, and you have 1 marker for passive active opposition.
Yeah, but how do you measure the level of passive support or active support?
It's
on
just
the
this.
physical.
On the what do you mean measure?
Because it's because you're shifting the level of active or passive support. So
Okay.
how do you do that on the physical tabletop? On a physical tabletop, not this module.
Well, as I said, if you look the map normally below this counter, you have it's neutral. It is written on the map. Neutral is written on the map, and if you gain support, you get the marker.
1. Okay.
Yeah, you have 1 marker for passive support, which has on the other side active support.
And that's the shifting.
Yes,
now,
because
so I don't understand.
Okay, so here's the thing. If it is neutral and you shift it once toward active support, it's passive support.
Okay,
it moves on passive support.
So now if you moved it towards active, it would become neutral?
No, it will become active because this is support. And if you look at the rebels, they have opposition. So if it moves, for instance, if you move, you have passive opposition. If you move it towards support, then it becomes neutral, and then it becomes passive support, and then it becomes active support.
And that's it. Okay, so
yes, and if you move towards opposition,
I think it's these states. I see now. Never mind. I see it. I see it now. I see it now. Never mind.
No problem. Okay, so because
I thought it was like a level. I thought it was like a numeric level. I thought you.
No, it's active, passive or active support.
Okay,
there is no level. It's on this.
Yep, I got it. Now.
So I paid 3. So I will pay. Okay, so here's the thing. I will pay 3 resources more. Did I already? They started with 18, right? Okay. So I will pacify. First, I will pay 3 resources more to move this toward active support. And because it is at the passive support, it becomes active support, right? And as I mentioned, because it's now active support, the Mars government gains 2 victory points. Because now each population is worth 2 points, not 1. Okay? And the second action I will do, I will house. So I transfer population marker from displaced population to space without damage and with a room for growth. So there is a room for growth and there is no damage markers in Europa. So I will move population here. Them. and this gives them another 2 victory points, right? Because there is more population with active support.
Mm-hmm.
This also changes one important thing. If you look at the house at the bottom, it says
The Earth government support as well, right? Or confidence.
yes, but also then
Somebody
house after house, yeah, I flip this from EG minus to EG plus.
Okay.
Because if this
Yeah.
is at the minus, there is something that is called flashpoint, not flashpoint round. Yeah, flashpoint round.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
During flashpoint round, this moves down or up depending on the side it is on. So now,
Mhm.
because I housed some people, confidence in the government will rise if no one changes it, right?
I saw somebody mention that. I think this was on the Georgetown University wargaming group, that they thought that that flashpoint system was a little bit over the top. Just it was just kind of it added a layer to it that was kind of that felt
Maybe
a
I don't
little.
know. I like it because it moves some stuff. It's the I think I don't know how the other games of the series look, right? But I think it's helpful because uh, it moves storms. It helps to move some of the game mechanics
Okay.
in like logical way for me. I don't know because
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
have
All
stuff
right.
to
That's fine.
compare. Oh, and
Yeah,
I forgot about this thing, damn it. Because at the beginning there is one card, there is campaign card for the Red Dust faction that is one is drawn and then they can change later. This modifies, this is like, thing that modifies the whole game. So construction worker guild, workers down tool on core project, place all new RD bases on the dug inside. Oh, cool. Because what I forgot to mention, because I still forget it, base can be like base, or it can be flipped to its entrenched or dug inside side, right? Normally you build base normally and then you flip it, but Red Dust player, as long as this card is in play, and up, they place all new bases dug in. And the campaign can be changed during game, but this is like ongoing effect for the Red Dust side. Okay, so two eligible players played their
Yep.
actions. So now, when both of this, when first and second guys played their, if you can move here, when first player and second player played their actions, they move here. They stay here, and we pull another card.
What do you mean you pull another card?
Yeah, if you go to deck now, this card goes here.
Halfway
And
between.
this is
Interesting.
yes, it's only halfway between if no one passes, because if someone passes, this is not triggered. This is only triggered with actions, like the first eligible player and second eligible player plays actions, then this is triggered. And now new card is this is the new event.
That's the new event, but then what happens to the?
This is the current event. And because we had this,
Right.
you can figure if you want to pass or not, because you see who can be second later, right? Or who, because though Earth government is first, where corporation will be first. Well, here it is pretty simple because church was at the end, right? But yeah, we move here. We pull. Will be next event. This is the current event. So this is event that.
So
can
at
be
this
played.
point, though, that does not affect the order of.
Not yeah, this too. But if
so
play
these
their
guys
actions, if they play.
But at this point, you're back to 1 and 2 here with these two.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Will. Okay. First, on the card there is a flashpoint round marker. So
and
here
that's a probability of it. What is that? What is
no,
that?
No. You look only at this for this card. You ignore this. You always look at this for the card that was flipped, and this is the number of spaces you move on the
Flashpoint
flashpoint track.
thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
and when it reaches there, then you perform flashpoint round before going on.
Okay, so it's just a potential rebellious action or something, right? Is that just a
Yeah, it's
potential
no
wrench?
the flashpoint round. During the flashpoint round, the approaching storms turn
There's just
to
certain it feeds. That is the variable feeding mechanism for several mechanics. The storm and
kind
what
of
else?
because storms then become raging storms. New approaching
Okay,
storms appear, and Aldrin Cycler is
kind of like
activated.
a chaos. I don't know.
Kind
It's
of.
kind of like I don't know. It's a time. It's like a time commodity. Okay, interesting.
Kind of.
Hmm.
Yes. So this moved 3. And now the first, but also here, the first player is Earth government, which is not here. So the first player is corporation. But if you look at the card, for
They're
instance,
ineligible.
they
At
are
this point, they're
ineligible.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so
But
that's how you do it. Okay, all right. That's how you
but
measure it.
church, yes, but church, for instance,
So there
church is
really are
always
no turns.
no, there are no turns. Yeah, really. That's why you don't have
That's fine.
the
That's understandable.
sequence
There's
of
no
play in this
well,
game. Yeah.
there's a sequence of operations, not a sequence of turn. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So
So
and
how do these
because
guys get reset though? There is a point where they get reset.
yeah, when these two guys play in any
Hmm.
order or do something, then
Right.
these guys land here, and then these guys land in illegible.
Oh, so there's always two. Oh, interesting.
Not always, I think, because sometimes you can pass. If someone passes and you have this
Mhm.
situation, then I think it
Yeah.
also then you can
Pulls
have
only one or both.
yeah, I
Oh.
think it can move like this, if I remember
Okay, so
correctly.
there's a variableness to that too.
If there is no one in eligible
All right, we'll
faction because
just put it
someone
back the way it
passes.
was, and we'll.
Yeah, I know.
The
So
blue and
great.
red are on the ineligible right now
Yeah, and
currently,
they
so
were active. So
we're not on any given turn, and that's also why that's also why there's the card to check victory instead of a
yes,
turn marker. There
yes.
is no real turn
Beside
marker.
when there is card to check victory, there is what's called reset. So you reset all of this that is here. You reset
Okay,
during the card
okay,
that checks victory,
interesting,
and you reset
interesting.
some other things during it.
Hmm.
Besides, if you look now, the church is always the last. But because they are only two, they don't need to discard 3 cards to be first in order. They only need to discard 2 because they still need to be on the card, like they need to discard 1 card to be before the Red Dust Rebels, and they can discard second card to be before Corporation, and then they could move first. They don't want to. You don't want to move Church at the beginning of the game. You kind of bide your time, right, with the church and gain resources. So what's the events here actually? EG plus 200 years from achievement. Shift any 2 spaces 1 level each toward active support. Okay. Because if you look at the cards, many of the cards have 2
Hmm.
events. The
Hmm. We have the shaded and the
helpful to
unshaded event.
coin, and the one shade that is usually helpful to rebels, and you can
Okay.
choose any one of them when you decide.
Hmm.
200 years of dependence. If any 2 spaces 1 level each toward active. Okay, no, none of this really helps corporation in any shape or form.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah, but corporation is first. Let's say they will perform BT. I'm just speedballing here. So what are the actions? Public. Oh yeah, because you can use logistics. Yeah, they probably use logistic. The beginning is pretty straightforward. You gain resources, logistics, stuff like that. Resolve. Okay, because logistics is kind of complicated for corporations. Oh, and by the way, you can use special activity unless it is said otherwise. Um, so they will use logistics. So place units, upgrade bases, and resolve Aldrin Cycler. Yeah, because corporation is the only faction that can perform Aldrin Cycler like out of turn, right? Out of what's flashpoint rounds.
Okay.
Oh, if so, procedure. So location Earth transient and any desert. So procedure: if Earth, place up to 4 corp units, max 1 spec ops, plus 1 per profit spent. So because corporations recruit on Earth apparently, and they have also spec ops, because if you look at the pieces, you have either the government has only like the square pieces, right? Like the
Mhm. Mhm.
cubes.
Mhm.
The same for Earth. The same, and corporations have both cubes and these hexagons, and rebels only have hexagons, right? Because
Mhm.
if you flip hexagons, you will see they have on physical game they have their faction marker. But
Mhm.
hexagons always have icon at the bottom, because when they are without the faction icon at the top, it means they are hidden. They are not active.
Okay.
And when
Okay.
you activate them, you need to flip them, which many actions just, like attacking other players requires activating your rebel
So the
cells. But
hidden
then,
ones are not targetable either, I would assume. So,
yes,
all
yeah,
right.
they are not targetable and they need to be, but there are actions that
Revealed.
allow, for instance, yeah, recon or secure are two actions for corporations that can
Mhm.
um, reveal them. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I don't want to use actually logistics because it's complicated action that won't explain much of it. So yeah, but let me see. Yeah, so let's say secure. So secure, enter labyrinths and reveal rebels there. Any destination, location and destination labyrinth. So it doesn't really cost me. So move corp unit to destination labyrinth from adjacent spaces along maglev lines and between controlled spaceports. So if there is control, because you can see that some spaces have this racket on the population. This is spaceport. So you pretty much, if you control spaces that has spaceports, you can move between them,
Mhm.
troops of any kind, right? Maglev lines are these lines, so you also can move between them as many spaces as you want. The only limitation is you need to end movement in a space with enemy control. This maglev line is dotted because this can be built
Underground.
with,
Uh,
no, this is not built, it can be built with an event, I
uh,
believe. That's why you have marker
okay.
for it, so you
Perfect.
can
All right.
build it during the game.
Uh,
So I can find one space, so secure destination from adjacent spaces, and on deserts you pretty much can only move to adjacent desert with
every once in a while
spaces
you're
and
cutting out,
between
by the
control
way.
space. Sorry?
Every once in a while you're cutting out, like just a short
Oh,
little cutout. Yeah. Just
how about now? Is it better?
better. I mean, yeah. For now
Okay.
it is. I'll tell you. All right.
Okay.
Is that the noise cancellation or something kicking in or something? Or?
I don't think so. It's probably just internet connection.
All right.
Oh, and it is EG controller. Oh, god damn it. I don't remember how drop pods work. I never use drop pods. Because here's the thing, corporation is right now Earth government controller, right?
Uh-huh.
So they control troops and they can use drop pods. So they can drop Earth troops from Phobos, I think. So move corp unit to destination from adjacent
Hell
spaces.
divers.
Yes, exactly. Let me see. Suppress operates. Oh, drop pods, secure. Move a satellite from orbit to any labyrinth in the. Okay, that's how it works. We never use it yet. So you have satellites.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you can see, there are satellites, and there is one satellite right now in play.
Mm-hmm.
So satellites can be used to.
Drop ship. Squee.
They are not only they are there are also cards that you can use them to enhance the
Veal things
event
and
the
such.
events, yes, but
Oh,
right now
okay.
I can for instance, because corporation is the player and it is govern airgov controller, I can drop. So drop pods, secure. Move a satellite from orbit to any labyrinth, even with damage or raging storm, to move airgov them directly for Phobos. So where, okay, so Shepard looks like a space that need to be pacified, for instance. um, Although, where are other, yeah, okay, that looks like a space that, because the only Yeah, enter. So any destination labyrinth. So I am not limited by control or anything else. So let's say I will move satellite here, and I don't know how many troops I can drop from Phobos. I assume all, but I will only move 2. So these guys drop here. Labyrinth. Earthgov troops. Okay, I don't know actually how these guys move, but I can only drop Earth troops from here, right? But I can also move, for instance, I can move this one guy via Maglev here also, right? Because there was one security troop here and he's using this Maglev to end here. I can't use spaceport because the space is controlled by the rebels. And I can only move troops via spaceport if it is not controlled. But that's okay, I guess. That's all I would move either way. And because 3, next part is secure, so I moved my guys, right, to secure the objective. And now after moving, activate 1 rebel for each corp unit and may move 1 security to available to place a core base. After moving, activate. So there is only, unfortunately, why 1 corp security, right? This EG troops does not flip the guy, so I flip 1 rebel active. He can be attacked. Activate 1 rebel for each 1 security to okay. Although I don't know if they are also, I haven't read the rules as thorough as I would like, because I think they might be also counted as corp unit now as long as I am controller, but let's say no for now. And may remove 1 security to available to place corp base. So I could place base here, but I really don't want to. Then may have, because you can place corporate bases, but corporation really wants to place bases in desert, because for each desert base they gain profits later, because they are terraforming. When you dug them in, they are terraforming stations and they give you profits. Okay, so then may house or repair in 1 destination where I don't want it. I don't want house and repair. Oh, and actually this can be. Oh no, we want to do special activity, right? I can't remember which one. Recon. So this was secure plus public relations or raid. So I move my guys. I flipped 1 guy. I want house or repair. There is nothing to repair here. And I don't want them to house yet because I don't want to give points to to rebels yet. But what public relations then does? So I can perform secure and I can either public relation or raid special action. So raid is strike with hidden spec ops. I don't have even spec ops here, right? Because spec ops are these guys. And this is like regular security. But I can perform public relation in max 2 spaces. Well, I only activated 1, so I can perform only 1. So location up to 2 spaces with coin control and security, which is fine because it is. Oh no, I don't have. Oh no, you know what? Now control actually shifts because rebels have three guys, right? And the coin troops have 4. There are EG troops. They have more. If there would be a tie, there is no control, right? If this was the situation. But because coin troops, meaning both corporation and Mars government and Earth government, when they are counted, there are more troops than rebels in total, so they gain control. Up to 2 spaces with coin control and security. There is security and there is coin control, so that's legit. Repair a number of times gain 2 profits for each damage removed. Then may house in 1 selected space. In each space where repair or house occurred, if RD is present, Oh, that's cool. I don't remember what these actions does. You need to play. So if you see public relations. So now I have coin control and I have my security here, right, in Shepherd. So procedure, repair any number of times. Well, nothing to repair, so skip that. Gaining 2 profits for each damage removed, because public relations, I guess, and that's what we packet on the construction. Then may house in one selected space. So I will house guys, and this is also interesting mechanic for me. So I house one guys, right? That gives 1 point, 1 victory point to rebels because it's still in passive opposition. Rebels are there, so they gain 1 point. But now, in each space where repair or house occurred, if RD, so red dust, is present, they lose 3 resources. So they were present here where I housed guys. So they lose 3 resources because the public relations, I guess that the public is more,
They
you
have to
know,
go into hiding, or they have to,
or
they
some of
lose
the resources were taken
or
during repair,
taken.
during
Yeah, exactly.
housing, something is taken.
Or-
If
yeah.
present, they lose 3 resources. And if CR is Church of Reclaimer, is present, they must discard 1 asset card. They are not
They're
present here,
not present. Okay.
so they don't lose anything. Okay, so that was the corporation action. So as you can see, it's interesting how some mechanics, because I gave them 1 victory point, right?
Right.
By
You just gotta
housing
watch
people
out. You
here.
gotta time it appropriately, right? It can
Yes, because
backfire on you, I guess, is the way to put it in some
yes,
way.
exactly. But
Yeah.
they lose resources. I flipped 1 guy. I gained control.
hmm
Besides satellites flying here
So no
can be
matter
taken
what,
control.
even though you caused a little bit of a disruption, you still gained control, right?
Yes.
This is the minds and hearts, right?
Yes,
You're in the
exactly.
hearts and minds of this planet. Right? All right.
Exactly. And
Cool.
now we have Church. Church can perform limited operation or event. Church is weird in how they play because they have resources on cards. And what cards do I have for travel? Oh my god, I don't understand Church at all. Oh, but they can play event, right? Cool.
Mhm.
Because Church has its own cards, right? Right now they have 3 cards on hand. And I will just, you know what, I will flip them here and show. Uh, So why they have cards? Because their cards are their resources. If you look at their cards,
Mhm.
when these are resources they have, and if they want to play
They could.
operation and they cost resources, they need to discard card
Mhm. Does that
and
also
pay
give
this to play
them?
results.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Yes, they can gain them by actions or by passing. If they pass, if they pass their action, they
Mhm.
take 1 card.
Mhm.
So this is the number of resources they can pay. So they need to discard the cards with the resources. Or on some cards, if you look here,
Mhm.
for instance, we have cards. This card has 4 resources for any action, but it has 5 points if you play it for travel. So if you perform travel action, you gain 5 resources, right? But
Mhm.
also, if the card has a description, they have their own events. So instead of playing event from the deck that is right now present, they can play event from their hand, and most of them are ongoing actions that enhance their
Mhm.
actions till
Just their
game stops.
yeah.
So forensic baffle spaces with a CR base counts as having 2 fewer coin units for secure and recon, for instance.
And
And
those
that's
are the capability ones, right? Yeah. Okay.
yes, they are the capability. They can be
And
played, but you need to
they're
be able.
usually less points. I'm assuming they're
Yes,
less operational points. Yeah. Okay.
yes, but for instance, ransack
Mhm.
additionally reduces MG resources by 3 or profits by 1. Oh, that's cool. That sounds cool.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
perform a free operation in up to 2 spaces after playing this capability event. Then draw an asset card. So let's say they want to play this, but in order to play this, they need
Mhm.
to be able to play an event. And they can
Mhm. Mhm.
because,
Because of what was chosen. Yep.
yes,
And if
because
you
what was
wanted to,
chosen.
if that player, if the previous player, which was the corporation, didn't want them to do that, they would have probably done
Yes,
that. Yep.
yes, and then they can play it as resource, they can play it as
Yep.
event. But let's say they
And
say
these are
midday
hidden though,
event.
so we wouldn't really know what they had in their
Yes,
hand either,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yes,
Interesting.
they are the only one that hides it. So
Mm-hmm.
Ghost in the Machine. So ransack is their action. Additional reduces. So this is now placed somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and this is ongoing action. So if they perform ransack action, which is their way of gaining resource cards, is just ransacking damaged or destroyed communities.
Mm-hmm.
So it will also reduce Mars government resources by 3 or profit by 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
In corporation.
So then you
And
gotta
now
go
they
look
can.
at who's more powerful right now, the MG or the Corp. So
That's fluent, and that's actually very hard to predict. Corporate has
yeah,
problems because they have no profits right now, right?
so far.
You know
Right.
what? Let's play to the flashpoint round because that's important mechanic. And then if
Okay.
you don't have time,
Yeah,
we
that's
can
probably
stop.
about. Yeah, we can stop
Yeah,
at
but
that time.
that will be good place to stop. So let's go
Mm-hmm.
through it. So ransack, and now they can perform. They play this and they perform a free operation in up to 2 spaces after playing this capability event.
Mm-hmm.
Then draw
And
another
then
card. So
draw
they
another
still
card.
can
Okay.
perform. They still can perform 2 operations for free, which is like
Kind of nice.
let's wait, 2 operations, no, in 2 spaces, sorry. Yes, so they will probably use rally, right? Rally is their way of gaining guys. So any neutral spaces on Mars, so they can only rally in spaces that are neutral.
And there's plenty of them.
One resource per space, but that costs nothing because it's a free action. In each space, place 1 CR rebel,
They probably
or
do
place two
here.
with a CR base.
Right.
If CR base may instead either place CR rebels up to population plus CR bases, or flip all CR rebels to hidden because they also hide.
So they already have a pretty good stance
Oh yeah.
here in New Cordova.
That need to be done. Yeah, because you know what? Or because they can flip all rebels hidden, or upgrade 1 CR base to conversion center and draw 1 asset card.
So
In
they
space
would probably do
place.
that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah, that's good idea. So they would here flip
Mm-hmm.
and
And then pull
take
another
1
card.
card, and they have another space, so they can place where they already have bases.
They got some over here.
Here, but there is no population here, so they still
Mm-hmm.
place only 1 guy here, or I think 2. No, they play 2. Okay, that's there.
Mm-hmm.
Or replace 2 with a CR base. If CR, oh no, sorry, they
Or
can
they
take
can go to a neutral that they don't have. Is there a way to start to gain influence in this neutral one? Yeah. Tereshkova.
Only by rebels
Okay.
or
All right, that's fine.
by
All right,
coin
that's fine.
troops. Yeah, they can, but with actions and stuff like that. There are
Okay.
actions to gain troops, but yeah, they can place 1 rebel here because why not? They can't place here because there is some kind of support, right?
Right. I'm just trying to say it's very obvious. Yeah. I mean, you could expand here, but yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah,
I'm wondering
they
how
can.
that will how will that affect the other 2 factions
This,
here,
you know
generally?
what? This affects. Oh, you know what? This actually does not affect this because this only can be affected with stuff like actions that agitate or support. But you know what? If they appear here, this is no longer coin controlled. This is actually
That's what I
controlled
thought.
by no one.
That's what I was wondering. That's why I would
Because rebels, yeah, because Red
off
Dust need to
balancing it.
have more than both of these factions, so they would need to have four pieces.
And then how
Coin
does that
need to have more
generally
than both rebels.
but how
So
does that affect the church? You know, how would
uh,
that be positive for the church?
right now, you know what?
Because
Right now, it's only positive for the church. This does nothing. But if they gain more rebels here and
yes, right.
out or something and gain control, they
Yeah,
gain victory points, right?
that's what I thought. But
Okay,
what's that?
so
Can you explain this one again? Like this one
this
right here? Yeah, because there's a weird factor involved there though. Because
So this is the sum of all the bases on the map by all other factions. So if
so what you're measuring there is that these guys are gaining ground in spite of. Is that what you're kind of measuring? You know what I'm saying?
kind of, I don't know, because
In
if red rebels or
right.
the
Yeah.
corporation or the government places base,
Right.
then their
Which
victory is harder.
And then
That's the
because
thing.
it's almost like an in spite of measurement. That's interesting.
Yeah,
You know what
now
I'm
because
saying? Like it's kind of like
maybe
they're giving them a boost because otherwise they would have a trouble
no,
winning, I guess.
it's no, it's not boost. It's enemy bases. This is their victory condition. If the enemy builds bases, their victory is slipping away. It's going away because they need to control more spaces and bases than
Oh,
there is
that's their.
bases. Yes,
I'm sorry. I read that. I completely read that wrong.
no,
Okay,
no, that's their
I thought
victory
this was.
condition.
Oh, I thought this was somehow weirdly adding to the total.
No, no, that's what they need to gain to win.
Okay, interesting. Okay, that makes it much more sense, of course. But all right,
Yeah,
cool.
but I like this mechanic because, for instance, yeah, it's bad if rebels have like red rebels if they have bases. For one, it's bad for others, but it also helps defeat the church in
Right,
a way.
yeah, exactly,
And if you
exactly.
destroy bases of any faction, where pretty much the corporations and
So the
government
church is
can't
like
fight.
the church is like the interesting one. Once you've done well at one of the other ones, you
Yes,
should try to win as the church. It's basically the
exactly.
Bene Gesserit
Yep, pretty
in
much.
comparison to the Avalon Hill Dune. All right, cool.
Okay, so now because they both of them are finished, because they finished, yes, because they played
Yeah, the
event,
church
they
is the most esoteric to win with.
exactly.
Yeah.
So now we place these guys in eligible factions again. These guys go to ineligible, and we flip the card. So this becomes the new current
Oh,
card.
like half turns. That's weird. All right.
Okay,
Still getting
and
used to that. I'm just kind
yeah,
of
oh, you
still
can you can
generally
yeah,
getting
you can
used to
get
that.
used to that. It's fun game in my
Yeah,
opinion
yeah, yeah.
and it's not hard to learn,
Did
right?
you
It's hard to
wanted
master.
did you say you wanted to just describe the flash
Flashpoint.
point or whatever? Yeah.
Yes. So now because these guys move here, these guys move back here to eligible. I already pulled another card. So this
Mm-hmm.
is the current event. I pulled this. There are two
Mm-hmm.
on the flashpoint marker, right? On
So
because you
that
look at
moves
the
this up
that's pulled.
to a
Yes.
flashpoint event, right?
That
Right.
moves you to a flashpoint event. So, and the procedure for that you pretty much have here. So first, Aldrin
Mm-hmm.
Cycler is activated. So you move all pieces in transit to Phobos. Unfortunately, you will need to kind of go from Cycler to this. Although you know what is cool, pretty much the Aldrin Cycler procedure is right below the Cycler.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
first you
I
move
just described it
everyone.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, you move everything from transit to
To
Phobos. So
Phobos. Yeah.
satellite is pretty much going immediately to orbit. These guys wait on Phobos. The
Uh-huh.
supply markers, uh,
Uh-huh.
they increase the number of supplies of the Martian
For
government.
oh
So
wow.
they get 3 for each marker. So that's 9, right? 5, 6,
That's
7,
nice.
8, 9. Yes. Now,
So
after
again,
transit,
that's kind of like the team mentality of that,
yes.
but then the Martian government still needs to kind of win,
So
of
now,
course,
so you move all transit. Yeah, but look what now happens. So place all population marker now on Phobos in displaced population. So if any population from here landed on Phobos, they are immediately to displaced. Move all
Mhm.
satellite markers to orbit. Yeah, I did that.
So
In
immigrants,
markers,
immigrant,
yes,
the
that's
displaced
immigrants.
immigrants. Yeah.
Now move. So now we move stuff from Earth to transit, and here how it goes. You always move one population marker if there is any present, right? One population need to one population and 5 other pieces. First of all, these 5 other pieces that goes here are controlled by current EarthGov controllers. So right now, corporation decides what 5 pieces goes from Earth to transit,
Interesting. Okay.
and of course they will immediately
Pull
move
there.
this.
Yeah.
They move
And there.
satellite, and now the question: do they want to? First of all, do they want to supply Mars government more at this
Mhm.
point,
Or
or
do they want
not?
to bring in troops? Yeah.
Or the Earth troops?
Interesting.
Earth troops
So,
are helpful right now for them because they control them, but that can change. when the confidence of the Earth rises to the Mars government. So these are 5 pieces. Okay, so these are 5 pieces that were moved, and now regardless of who is the controller, the corporation can move more pieces from Earth to transit, but they need to pay with profits. So for one profit use, they have right now 0 profits, but if they had profits, they can use profits to move more stuff from Earth to transit. And they can do this even if they are not the controller.
So
But
they
right
have
now,
like a backup plan, right? You know,
yes,
oh, we can get that all the way through. Oh, we can get that through customs.
yes, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, we pay for the shipping. We pay shipping cost. Okay, so move one population if possible, and if there was more population, they can move more population. Now, Airgrowth controller Eveni must choose 5 pieces, including satellites and supply markers. Oh, sorry, but not the population. Okay, so you can't move more population. Corporations may reduce profits per one piece to move any additional pieces. Yada yada yada. Okay, next, corporate casualties, which is interesting. So here you have casualties, right? So if any of the security or EarthGov troops was killed, they land in casualties, and now corporation need to reduce profits for each corp base and war for every 2 security in casualties. So they pay, I don't know, they pay families for insurance payment or
Interesting.
something.
Yeah.
If there are casualties, no casualties. Now, EarthGov confidence. So move all satellites on Mars to orbit. So the one from Shepard returns to orbit because we used one. Improve or degrade EarthGov confidence, 1 step, as indicated by the marker. So the marker right now is on the plus side. So the confidence grows and it goes to 1 up, which immediately gives 1 victory point to the Mars government because this is added. So if the marker reaches the bottom, yada yada yada. And now these are the pieces that are added to Earth. So 4
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering how that. I was
Yeah,
wondering how that
4
gets
guys,
added.
4 Earth troops, 2 supply markers are added, and 1 population.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a very, very well thought out game.
Very well, right? I also love how it all comes together. Okay, now terraforming, and that's also interesting fact. So terraforming, increase profits by 2 for each desert with a corporate terraforming base. Terraforming base is a base that is flipped to its dug inside. So, and only in deserts. So that's why corporation wants to place bases in desert, right? They gain 2 profits at this point, and then 1 for each additional terraforming base after the first. So if they have 2 bases in a desert, they gain 3 profits, right? And reduce profits by 1 for each conversion center in a desert. First of all, there are no conversion centers in a desert at this point, and there are no profits, so we can ignore that. Dust storms. Okay. So next, we got dust storms. So first, remove all raging storms. We do not have raging storms right now, so we ignore that, but we flip all approaching storms to raging storms, and we have 2 of them. So one is in Radau here. So here is a raging storm, and where was the second? Oh, here. So raging storms prevents all movement to and from the space. That's first. Second will be attrition and conversion, but that's in a moment because we roll for more storms. So roll for new approaching storms a number of times equal to the flashpoint value of the next event card, or until 6 storms. So the value was 2, right? So we take 2 dice, black and white, and it was like this. So first you look at the white dice, 5. You have numbers here at the like regions. So 5 is here and 6 is here. So we place
new approaching storms there.
Yes, approaching storm here. And the second one, and if we roll again the same space, then this immediately changes to raging storm. But So 5 is here and 1 is here. So the second one is here. But if we rolled this again, this would be immediately Raging Storm. But we have two new approaching storms. If a storm marker is already in a rolled space, yeah, then flip it. Now, attrition and conversion, and this is important for rebels, red rebels, in unpopulated or Raging Storm deserts. Without a coin base, remove one Marsgov troop and one security if possible. Okay, so it's also for coin. I don't think this is at the start the case. Because Raging Storm, okay, and then if unpopulated or Raging Storm deserts without a red dust base, remove one red dust rebel if possible. We have this space with red dust rebels, but they have base, so they are safe, right? And in labyrinths, you are always secure. Labyrinths never have attrition. So that's the end of attrition. And in populated spaces, and here is a thing why rebels are also sneaky and irritating. In populated spaces with a conversion center, place one CR rebel. So in New Cordoba, they will spawn every every flashpoint round. There will be spawned one church follower,
And
then
they pretty much move out of there. Okay. Now, speaking of moving, you can get between these regions. Like these are regions, Arabia, Terra, and
yes, you can.
Hellas.
You can pretty.
You
Okay,
got to
there
go
are
to the
two.
wilderness first.
No, there are two ways. Either you need to go to wilderness. Wilderness is adjacent to any desert on the map automatically. So from here you can move to any desert, or you can fly between labyrinths
Okay, there you go. That's what
using
I. Okay, perfect.
spaceships.
Perfect.
But you can only use them if they are not controlled by the other faction. I think. I mean, like if they are coin controlled, then rebels can't use them.
Okay.
Oh wait, does this change? Okay, no, they. Oh no, and this makes
Cool.
New Cordoba look, because now
Church.
they have four. Yeah, they have 4 pieces to only 3 pieces of their enemies. So Church gains control of New Cordoba, and that gives them
pushes
1
them up.
victory point.
Yeah. So what's interesting is they're pretty close. They're generally close to their marker.
Yeah, so
yeah.
other players need either to
so the church
build
can,
bases or fight Church or
right. They need to be cognizant of that, right? Oh, that's interesting.
Really
That's
cool,
interesting.
right? How
That's interesting. That yeah. That's like a dragging marker. Yeah. Okay. Let's leave it there for now, and we'll do part 2.
Yeah.
Whatever. Are you available next Saturday?
I might be. I'm not
Yeah, I mean,
sure
even
yet.
if we kept it to an hour.
Yeah, probably. No, you know what? If I am available whole day. I just don't know if I will be. Red Dust.
Yeah, I moved my face-to-face board gaming to that next Sunday, so I won't be available that day. But
yeah, we were supposed to do it during the week, but yeah, I had
there's
very
during the week is just for me. By the time I
you
get
know
up,
what I had the December was very busy with holidays and all. January I also will be the last 2 weeks of January I will probably be limited in scope, but
all right, have a good one. It was good. It's a good game.
Thanks for the game. Great game, right? I like how
this
this interconnecting stuff with the factions. Right?
Oh, you know what? At some point we need to play Wolfpack again too. By the way.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. You probably were sick of it for a while, as far as just having to look at the art forever. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, regarding the art, I'm still sick because
no, now that you've had a degree of separation from it.
I need to see if the module, because I think the Vassal module is in the works, like the new, improved Vassal module is.
Yeah, I think we used one for like beta testing it.
Yeah, but I think they are now making one that
one.
is with the current artwork. I don't know if there will be tabletop module, but Vassal module is in the works, I think.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think Vassal's good too. All right, cool. All right, yeah, at some point. All right, well, have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye. Thanks for the game.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll